Breaking news that is just coming in from the Rouse Avenue Court in the national capital. The Enforcement Directorate, which had sought a 5-day extension in custody for the Delhi Health Minister Satyendar Jain, has been granted 5 more days of custody. So Satyendar Jain will remain with ED for the next 5 days. His custody has been extended by 5 days. The senior advocate Kapil Sibal was appearing on behalf of Satyendar Jain. And they, of course, argue that the Enforcement Directorate, doesn't have anything further against him to investigate this case. However, the Rouse Avenue Court, in its wisdom, has decided that 13th of June is the date till when the custody has, in fact, been extended. Let's go right across to Neeta joining us with the very latest. Neeta, what happened in court?
The senior counsel, Mr. Kapil Sibal, appeared for Satyendar Jain, Rishika, and he said, he made a valid argument. He's saying that ED jurisdiction is not to investigate. Their job is to investigate money laundering. Then investigation about those allegations is completed. They claim dirty cash was given and converted into the legitimate shares. Offence is complete. They cannot go beyond 1.7 crores. That is the disproportionate assets. So ED cannot go beyond that offence. They need to investigate the offence accordingly. So arguments were made, but however, the court has extended the custody of Mr. Satyendar Jain till 13th of June. ED was asking for 5-day custody, but his custody as of now has been extended till 13th of June. Rishika?
Right. What really, Neeta, was the argument that was put forth by the Enforcement Directorate when they sought this extension? We know that Kapil Sibal, who was arguing on behalf of Satyendar Jain, had said that, the Enforcement Directorate's jurisdiction is not to investigate. Their job is to investigate money laundering. The investigation about those allegations has been completed and therefore, essentially arguing that there is no ground to ask for this extension.
Yes, as far as ED is concerned, they say that they have recovered a huge amount of cash and also gold coins from the premises of Mr. Satyendar Jain and his near and dear ones. In fact, when they made the argument in court after hearing Mr. Sibal, the court in fact questioned the defense counsel. He said that they are investigating the accommodation entries in registers, to which Mr. Sibal applied that this was investigated already. ED's argument was focused around the fact that they have recovered more cash and more gold also, worth amounting 2.8 crores. So they also need to investigate from where he accumulated so much of cash and so much of gold. So the investigations need to go beyond this. However, the court was insisting that there was no jurisdiction outside the disproportionate assets case. So, but the court, however, granted ED the custody of Mr. Jain till 13th of June. So he would be produced now to the Enforcement Directorate Court on Monday. Rishika?
Right. Neeta, also what we're understanding is that Kapil Sibal, in those arguments that he presented in court, said that, this is a disproportionate assets case. The CBI has been investigating this since 2016. However, no charge sheet has been filed against Satyendar Jain.
Yes, it's an ongoing case. Obviously, the ED, however, is claiming that, ED always registers a case as an offshoot of a case which has been registered by some other investigating agency. So here, the basis of their registration of this case was the CBI FIR. So they, as far as ED is concerned, they're saying they're still investigating. So whatever will come to the for the investigation, they will obviously presenting before the court. But as far as ED is concerned, they are saying there are more sources of income and more sources Mr. Jain needs to explain, because this was an unexplained source of money which the ED had recovered from his residence and also his relatives' residence. Rishika?
Neeta, quick word, on the politics of this. Of course, the Aadmi party has claimed that this is vendetta politics. There is no case against Satyendar Jain. They've also said that, it's Satyendar Jain now. Manish Sisodia is going to be next. Arvind Kejriwal in that dramatic press conference said, why don't you just arrest us all? So there is a fair bit of, political back and forth over this entire issue, with the Aadmi party continuing to throw its weight behind the Delhi Health Minister, saying we are with him because we believe he is innocent and this is all just political vendetta.
Yes, yes, Rishika, you know, but strangely, when last time also Mr. Satyendar Jain was presented before the court, that time, he had not spoken to Mr. Kejriwal because some of his supporters were wanting him to speak to Mr. Kejriwal, but he, in fact, did not speak to him that time. That time, I was also present in the court, but obviously the politics behind it has been going on since Punjab elections. Earlier, it was being said that Mr. Jain would be arrested before Punjab elections. They had got intelligence also from the local sources. But however, they claim, the Aam Aadmi Party claims, the investigating agencies deferred his arrest, and now he has been arrested just before Himachal elections because the BJP is not faring well there. As per Aam Aadmi Aap's claim, they are not doing well. That is why they don't want even Aam Aadmi Party to, spread their base, and Mr. Satyendar Jain was obviously in charge of Himachal Pradesh. That is why he has been arrested. And as you rightly say, Mr. Kejriwal has quoted and said that Mr. Manish Sisodia might be next. And he has been throwing his weight for both his health minister and the education minister. But this politics will continue because in few months' time there are elections in few states, and Aam Aadmi Party is trying to expand its base, obviously in some other states too. Rishika?
Right. Neeta, what happens as far as this case is concerned? What happens next? Because, like you're saying, there were multiple raids and seizures that were made. There's already been, a said amount of cash that has in fact been sort of found in these raids. That's not new. But what's latest is that there were certain aides of Satyendar Jain who were in fact raided, and jewelry was in fact seized in those raids. What really is the connection of those individuals with Satyendar Jain? What has the Enforcement Directorate said about that? Because remember, the Aam Aadmi Party has repeatedly also questioned the fact that is there really a link between Satyendar Jain and these latest raids that were conducted on his aides, for instance?
See, when there is a money laundering case which the Enforcement Directorate is investigating, whenever such cases are investigated, obviously your kith and kin, your near and dear ones, relatives are also investigated, because that's what investigating agencies believe, that you park your ill-gotten money or unexplained source of money, you park your money there. So obviously ED has been, as per ED claims, that they have got certain clues, and that is why his relatives and his known and friends were also raided, from where they have recovered certain amount of cash also, and jewelry, gold coins also. So investigations will obviously go on as far as ED is concerned. As far as Mr. is concerned, obviously after his custody is over, he would be remanded to judicial custody and he would be sent to Tihar jail. Rishika?
All right. Anita, last question to you before we let you go. The next hearing in this case is going to happen on Monday, given the fact that the ED has been given 5 more days of custody.
Absolutely. 5 they had sought for, but they have got it till, so practically it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So 3 days the custody, they have got 4 days. Monday he will be again produced. So mandatory 14-day period would be over, and that time, his counsel would be wanting him to be, released on bail. ED will oppose it. Obviously that legal battle will continue for some time. So the next date of hearing, as you rightly say, Rishika, is on 13th of June. Rishika?